Hey, I'm Luke, one of the founders at Hear Me Out. We are a creative music agency. We help brands use sound as a tool to increase brand value, brand recall, brand awareness, all the good brand stuff. We work with international brands with revenue well into the billions. And today I'm going to talk to you about why your brand sound could be killing your ads. But there is a fix. How wonderful, there is a fix. So you don't need to waste any more money. Right, let's jump in. First thing, a question. Are you aware that your brand has a sound? If you are using sound at all, even subconsciously or non-strategically, unstrategically, don't know if that's a word, your brand has a sound. It might just not be intentional. That's a big problem that we want to fix. So you have a sound, and does it cut through or does it vanish? We're not talking about volume or intensity. We're talking about recognition, repetition, and the ability to have it be embedded in your customers' brains and the association instantly with you. There is a way to check. So if you're not sure, don't worry, you're not alone. There is a way to check if it cuts through or if it vanishes. The best way to do that is with an audit. So we're going to run what we would call a sound audit. And it's a very simple process, but very enlightening, very interesting, we always find with brands. And you're going to find your last 10 pieces of content. That could be social media, that could be advertising campaigns, that could be videos you put together for events or conferences. Whatever they are, last 10, get them all in one spot. And then we're going to be just listening to them. You may have spent loads of time on the visuals, and I'm sure they are incredible, but for the sake of this, we're just going to be listening to the actual music so that we can get a real understanding for how you sound and not be distracted by great cuts, edits, and visual effects. What a lot of people realize as a brand, and again, you're not alone, is there's 10 tracks and there might be 10 different moods. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't necessarily give me much of a feeling of consistency at all. You know, if it feels like 10 different brands, that's a problem. And if you think about your visual branding, you wouldn't change your logo colors, your fonts, your name, etc. for 10 different pieces of content because you're aware of the brand loyalty, recall, awareness that's imperative. But loads of people do it with music. And I don't even think everyone realizes. So again, don't blame yourself. You're here, you're trying to do something about it. That is great. And if you sound like 10 different brands, you can't be surprised when campaigns don't stick. And we all want campaigns to stick. So what's the fix, Luke? I'm so glad you asked. It's super easy. You're going to be like, that's not going to work. It's too easy. It will. It does. It has. It's magical. You just pick one sound. You can start that off. You just pick one song that you have the rights to use, to license, etc. And you are going to repeat it everywhere. I mean everywhere. When you start to think that you've used this song too much, you're probably just on the cusp of using it enough. Because that's the trap most people fall for, is they don't. They don't use it, and then they wonder why they're not getting the impact that they want their brand to have. Because they use it once and then they move on to the next song. Again, you wouldn't do it with your visual branding. Don't do it with your sonic branding either. If you do, you're going to start from zero every single time. No one wants to start from zero. I want you to start from 100,000. I don't know what scale we're using, so that's pretty irrelevant. But you know, you get the idea. You get the sentiment. And we got, recognition is going to come from repetition, and that's why you need to keep using it. So that you don't start from zero. That repetition is going to create recognition, and you get that recognition through that repetition. And then you're going to find that there's a burn-in stage, and that takes a lot of people a little bit by surprise, I guess, because you just have to keep using it. And again, you'll think you're using it too much. I guarantee you, you are not. It's almost impossible. So you just want to repeat it across all touch points, ads, socials, events. If you're presenting something and you've got a deck, use that. Don't just use some random piece of music. Use it, use it, use it. And that's how you get it burnt in. If you don't burn it in, then you're going to pay a cost. Cost is not great. I don't want you to pay cost. Vanishing brand No one wants to be a vanishing brand. You want to have that consistency and people that have that brand awareness so that they can recall you at a moment's notice, because if they can't, then there's no trust. Zero recall, zero trust. So don't be in that position. The other thing is, if you don't do it and you keep changing songs, then it just feels a little bit amateur. You don't have that professional feel that you respect in so many brands that are using this approach. So yeah, your sound is already out there, unless you're using silent content, which I highly doubt in this day and age. You want to own that sound, you want to control that sound, you want to repeat it and get people to recognize you by it so that you don't have to wonder if it's working. You know it's working. You absolutely know it is working. And so if you want another set of ears on anything you're working on, just reach out. Please use this approach so that you can figure out that your brand sound is not killing your ads, so you get all of that great marketing spend maximized. Laters.